Okay, now it's recording. I just found the button. Thank God. Thank God I didn't go through all that without actually pressing record. Oh, I would have been pissed. All right,
So
perfect.
yeah. So when you're done, then what happens? Then you
I guess yeah, I'm gonna stop recording and then it'll probably save onto my computer. And
sweet.
yeah, if I can, I'm gonna put it on YouTube. I'll and Facebook. I'll tag it in there as well. Right, just get content out.
And it records like a split screen, or you're the main screen and I'm in the box. Or what's
I think. Well, right now you're the. Oh, okay, yeah. Now it's split screen. Okay, there we go. That's better. Now it's like you're on the left, I'm on the right.
Yeah, that'd be good, right?
Yeah, that'd be good. Okay, perfect, excellent, man. All right. So, how's your day been? Good.
Yeah, man. It's been pretty chilled, I would say.
All right, excellent. All right, so let's dive in here. Okay. So obviously both you and I. So those who don't know John works at Untitled as well, and so do I. And both of us are transitioning into a life coaching career. For me, it's more personal development coaching. For John, it's you do relationship coaching and the life coaching as well. Is that mostly for athletes or just for not just athletes? Anybody?
No, like yeah, anything really,
Yeah.
right? Yeah, basically, yeah. Just haven't like I don't want to put myself into a corner with a certain type of
Right. Yeah.
demographic.
Right.
So
Yeah. So that's good. That's
important.
good. So help. Well, that's what we're all about, right? Help anybody we can, as long as they're open to it. Coaching, right? And
100%.
yeah, no, exactly, perfect. So I got a couple of questions here, so we'll dive in and we'll take it from there. So, like for me, both in coaching and fitness, so obviously they're both equally as important, right? Um, but what about the fitness part itself? Because we know it's more than just the pure physical side of it. Like, in your opinion, what is fitness as a whole, rather than it just being physical?
Yeah. Um. Well, I think both of us, like you said, we're kind of transitioning into coaching, right?
Right.
And I think a big reason of that is because we see people in their house training them one-on-one, and we see like there's way more going on in like mentally and self-sabotage and all that kind of stuff. So like it's way more than just working out with someone, right?
Yeah.
And like there's much better ways to like get permanent change, as opposed to like having to see someone 3 times a week, and if you don't see them then they totally fall off, right? Like there's
Right.
ways that you can that people can just like take the helm and take the reins and do it all on their own. So that is like huge mental aspect, right? That's why I want to get like more into coaching and learn different ways to do stuff. I think that's probably a big reason for you too.
Yeah, because fitness is, because when people think of fitness, it's more it's physical, but there's so much more to the health and wellness circle in general than just squats and lunges and deadlifts. Right? There's more.
I mean, like the knowledge for working out and eating and sleeping, like that's all there for most people now, right? Like it's all like most people know what they should be doing and stuff.
Right.
But it's just how do they do it? How do they get into that rhythm to do it consistently? And
Like practical things they can use today to actually get to that next stage.
Yeah.
Perfect. That's what we're gonna say something. Yeah, go ahead.
No, that's about it. I mean, your question was like what aspects of fitness, like what do you think of when you think of fitness, or
no, exactly. Yeah. It's we know it's purely just, it's not just physical. It's more than just the physical aspect. There's the mindset aspect, like you mentioned, right? So I just wanted the audience to get the idea of that. So what about coaching in of itself? Because I know it's still kind of a taboo thing. It's not really something that a lot of people might know about. So in your opinion, what about coaching will people like, and how will it benefit them?
Yeah, coaching is like pretty brand new, right? I mean, in the last like five years, it's probably taken off.
Yeah, yeah, and I know there's, the old schoolers have been around like Tony Robbins and everything else, but
Yeah.
no one thinks of like, the guy next to you might be an experienced coach, but no one really thinks of that, right?
And you don't really know like what that is, right? What a coach is. Like when
Right.
you like therapist or psychiatrist, you're like, oh, I know that. I know what those are. But coach, there's so many different avenues you could go down, right? It's basically left up to the coach and how he or she like wants to go about things. So it's
Right.
totally like a wide range of services and clients and what you can do, right? So yeah, like you said, it's a little like, if you tell someone like life coach, it invokes like a reaction, a response where they're either like super intrigued or like it's like, I have no idea like what that is, and like it's almost like not standoffish, but it's just like totally unknown, right?
Right.
But for kind of what I just said, like it's because it doesn't have to fit in like to that scope of practice, like psychiatrist or psychotherapist or therapist. Coaching can do anything. Like you can, whatever the client like wants to change, like you can do anything to get that change,
Yeah.
Obviously not prescribing like drugs and prescriptions and stuff.
Oh, of course. Yeah.
not legally at least, but like besides that, like coaches can use so many techniques, and they don't have to be enclosed in an office. They can go to people, they can have people come to them. Like it's totally up to the coach, and it leaves so much more room to create those changes, right?
Yeah, right. So the main benefit that people, I mean, there's a lot of benefits, but the main benefit that people most likely will get is them getting help, for getting from stage one to wherever they want to go, right? Because the coach realistically has to be, at least in certain aspects, like a step ahead of them, right? So for us, for example, like we, compared to the general population, are ahead when it comes to the physical aspect of fitness. So, that's us helping them, right?
Right.
Um,
Yeah, like when I think of like what kind of coach I would want to be, it's basically it's not like having all the answers and stuff.
right.
And it's not like having to be right or having my answer and stuff. It's more of like, managing the client's state. Like if someone comes in and they're like, in a really depressed state and they want to get out of it, obviously you're going to probably want to get them out of that depressed state before they can tackle like the problem.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
The same way, like if someone comes in and they're super tired and they want to be more energetic, like you're not going to talk about them being tired. Like that's just going to make them more tired. So like get them into an energetic state, get moving, and then kind of go back and work on the problem from a different state. So like that's super important.
Yeah.
Asking questions that asking the right kind of questions.
Yeah.
So that they're talking about their answers and.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. You can dig deeper. Yeah, you can dig deeper and kind of like get out any of their subconscious blockages if they have any, which they probably do, right? Like all of us.
I mean, yeah, totally right. It's noticing where, like, what questions to ask, what words to say, like, where there's resistance, where there's not. Mm-hmm. Where there's resistance, usually that means that's the area to go to, right?
Yeah. Okay.
Like no one wants to do like what they suck at, right? Like,
right.
If you're not good at yoga, you probably don't want to go to yoga, but like that going to yoga would probably like change change everything in your life, right? It's
Right. Yeah. So like I think one of the biggest benefits people get from coaching, aside from the help in getting to that next stage, is kind of getting out of the comfort zone almost. And like you said, the yoga, if they need yoga but they haven't done it, and they probably should, where they kind
yeah,
of help them along that
yeah.
state. Right?
And yoga is just like an example of
Exactly.
something that a lot of
Yeah.
people resist, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. No.
It could be
Totally.
it could be anything. It could be meeting like an investment. Or it's like, oh, I don't want to meet with someone and look at my finances because I'm like, self-conscious about my finances. So
Right. Yeah. That was me.
yeah, that's most people, man. That's myself
Yeah.
included. But yeah, like that. But after you meet with that person, it's like a whole like just
Right.
weight off shoulders,
Yeah.
and like, you feel so much better.
And then you feel good because you know your finances are actually going somewhere, which is great.
Yeah. So that kind of stuff, not for like, noticing where there's resistance and
Mm-hmm.
not forcing yourself in there
Right.
as a coach because you the client's pace, but
Yeah.
noticing where that is and taking maybe a mental note of that.
Yeah. Okay. That's perfect. So obviously, people are either happy or they're unhappy, just depending on the situation. But what can people do, like starting today? Like practical tips to start living in a slightly better way. Like, is there anything that they can implement easily to just maybe feel a little bit better about themselves, or have a slightly different outlook about certain things? Are there, I guess, shortcuts? Even though there aren't really any shortcuts in life, but are there any things that people can do that they can start implementing today?
Well, I mean, I think everyone has a different blueprint for happiness, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
The big thing would probably be growth, like improving in
Mm-hmm.
one aspect or many aspects of your life, right?
Really kind of
Like
laddering
you
on.
feel like you made progress today in something,
Right.
whether that's a workout, whether that's like finances, or whether that's like learning a skill or taking a class. Like that's
Mm-hmm.
that kind of progress, even if
Yeah.
it's big or small, like that makes me happy, like day to day for sure.
Yeah. Yeah. I find for me, if I start my day with like a slight meditation, I feel better because I feel more calm, right? And that's just one simple thing that you can do, and you can set your day, you can set your tone for the rest of the day,
Yeah.
right? Little things won't really get to you as much. That actually kind of transitions into my next question, but we briefly touched on it. Like you said, everyone's got a different meaning of happiness. Are there certain things that people need to have for happiness? So you mentioned growth. That's something we all need as human beings. Are there any other things that you absolutely need to fall under that happiness umbrella? So growth is one.
Yeah. Well,
Uh,
so do you? I mean, you mentioned Tony Robbins before,
right.
and we've talked about like his stuff before for sure, like many times.
Mm-hmm.
I think he's probably one of the reasons why both of us have like
Yeah.
this. I think he's one of the reasons why many people have started like
Yeah.
exploring coaching and exploring like their own like their own reasons of doing things.
Yeah. Like harnessing their own inner power almost.
Yeah.
Right.
So he has this model called the 6 human needs.
Oh, right. Okay.
I think I mentioned that to you before.
Yeah.
But,
Can you briefly go over it, if that's okay?
Yeah. So that is like the best framework I've ever found of explaining why humans do things, why we think certain ways, and why we do certain things.
Mm-hmm.
And also, it's like the framework for happiness. So the 6 human needs model is basically a model saying that as humans, we have 6 needs, like besides like water and food and stuff, more of like the personality needs. We have 6 needs that every human has to meet, just in order to like satisfy themselves, in order to feel like safe and all that stuff. So the first one is certainty.
Okay.
So,
Yeah. We like to feel
yeah,
certain.
need number 1 is certainty, which is basically the need to feel certain, certain whether that's like, you know, you're in your finances or your job or your relationship, the need to feel secure, right?
Okay. Yeah. In different areas. Yeah.
Yeah. So like, if someone, I'll explain a little bit more after I go through, but number 2 is uncertainty, which is like variety,
Okay. Yeah.
which
All right.
means you have to have variety in your life, or else you're gonna figure out a way to meet these 6 needs no matter what,
Right.
no matter if you know about these needs or not. But like your second need is the need for variety. So whether that's, you know, having 3 different jobs, or having many friends, or whether that's just like chain smoking and like, you know, doing like, you know, bad things for your health or
Right.
whatever.
Right. Yeah.
You're gonna meet that need no matter what. Third one is connection. So either connecting with other people or connecting with yourself.
Right.
Fourth is significance.
That's huge.
Like,
yeah.
yeah.
That's huge.
The need to feel like your life is important, like you're special, like you're
Right.
there's something to you that is meant to like be here, like significance.
Yeah. Okay.
So those first 4, like certainty, variety, connection, significance. This is like Tony Robbins' model, so I'm just like the mailman. But those are the needs of the personality, he says, which everyone will meet no matter what.
Right.
You're gonna certainty, whether that's, let's say like your finances are a disaster. Let's say like you are you have like no friends, you have like no education, you have no relationship, you have no certainty in your life whatsoever. You're still gonna find ways to get certain, whether that's like being angry all the time and having to be right, whether that's like yelling at people and stuff, whether that's like, you know, having the certainty of always having a cigarette like close to you.
Oh, okay. Yeah. All right.
Like
all right.
you meet these needs no matter what, whether that's in good ways or bad ways.
That's interesting, actually. Yeah. That's and yeah, just the simple habit of just having something by your arm. People feel they feel calm with that, right? Just to have something here. Yeah.
Yeah. Or like the people like you'll see on like Facebook arguments or Instagram arguments, like
that's their significance.
The having to be right, the certainty and significance.
Yeah. Those make me laugh. I always like I'll scroll through some of them, and then I'll stop because it's just wasting my time. But it's just funny to see the length that people will go to prove their point.
Right, and those are ways to meet those needs, and it's not in a good way, obviously. Like it doesn't do anything for you. No one ever wins a Facebook or Instagram argument, right?
Right.
No one's ever going to be like, you know what, like, good point, like, I see what you're saying, after like call them a bunch of names, and you like no one's ever conceding.
No. Okay, yeah. That's good. 6. So
those first 4, like those certainty, significance, variety, connection, those are personality needs, which everyone will meet. And then the last 2, which are growth and contribution.
Oh, okay.
Those are the 2 needs that not a lot of people will meet, but they say that those 2, the growth and contribution, so growing in some aspect of your life, and contributing beyond yourself, those are the 2 that make people feel like
fulfilled and happy, and they're making a difference. Right.
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
So those are the 2 that like are the fulfillment needs.
Yeah.
The first 4, you're gonna figure out ways to meet.
Right.
Whether that's whether you know it or not. Yeah.
That's interesting, John. That's and this is the Tony Robbins model you said, right?
Yeah, I mean I mean he's so well known. I don't know if he like came up with it or he was the first to present it, but
Right.
he uses
Okay.
that so much and just explaining why we do things and
The whole psychology behind it.
yeah, like
Right.
the psychology behind it. Like if my life is just like point A to point B, like mundane over and over and over and over, and like my variety is like a zero, eventually I'm gonna have to bust out of that and get like a huge need of variety some way, and it's probably not gonna be in a good way. So like
Yeah.
you have to like really think of, am I meeting these needs and how am I meeting them? Am I meeting them in a good way, or is this like, have I completely neglected my connection with my friends or with my spouse? How am I connecting? So
Okay.
it kind of opens,
Mhm.
it like gives you framework of how and why you do things, and
Yeah.
shines light on it a bit.
Right. Right. No, that's awesome. I think a lot of people get a lot of value out of that one.
Yeah,
Um,
for sure. I did.
yeah. No, that's fantastic actually. Okay, so I think time wise, I just forgot what time. I think we started at 2:14. So we might have about like 8 minutes or so. So it's not
Yeah.
enough time to to. I'll ask another question. Um, so let's talk fear because we all know fear is everywhere and it never really disappears fully. So it's the fear of the unknown. Are there any, I guess, any practical tips that people can use to kind of reduce their fear, reduce their anxiety, or are we just doomed?
Yeah, we're doomed. Yeah, that's it. All right, bye, Shah. Have a good one. Yeah, I mean, fear. It's like anxiety is like 1 in 4 people now, I think, or one
Yeah,
in
it's
three.
gone up. It's gone up.
Yeah, it's only probably gonna get higher and higher, right?
Damn.
And it's yeah, like you said, the fear of the lack of control, right? Like the
Yeah.
fear of the unknown, like having to be in control of everything and having to know what's going to happen and having to know like that people like you and accept you and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I know some people like that personally, and it really is like that. They want to be in control of everything, and they want to know that people like them, and they always take everything personally when
Yeah,
it's not like that at all.
of course not, right? I mean, well, what do you think? Like, there's there's fear of failure and there's fear of success, and those are kind of two things that stem from the same thing, right? Like, what if I fail and I'm not enough? Like, what if I try my best and I fail and I'm not enough, and people look at me differently, and like people know that I screwed up? And then the fear of success is like, well, what if I try my best and I actually achieve that goal and I like reach my perfect like body physique, or I get that job and I get that relationship and I have everything I should ever want, and like then that's almost scary to people, right? Because like
Yeah,
then
yeah,
there's no more excuses of why you're not happy and why you can't do things, right? Like if you,
yeah. It's almost intriguing about the whole fear of success and why fear comes about in general. I think um, I think a surefire way of people kind of getting rid of that is just rather than doing something big, just start small. You know what I mean?
yeah,
So if you're, I'm just going to use like the gym as an example. Like if you're about to hit the gym, then just go in there and just play around with some of the machines, or go to a private area, do some body weight stuff, and then go upstairs, go to the weight room, and try, just get in there. And the more you kind of get yourself in that position, the less the anxiety will get you.
yeah,
But that's just one example. Obviously there's different avenues of life. Career, I think a career is a big one for most people.
of course.
right? Because
Well, that's like 50 hours of their week at least usually.
right, right, and you want to do something that you thoroughly enjoy, and that can pay the bills as well. But it's a big problem. I think for someone with like a career anxiety, I think they just have to they gotta take some time for themselves and really think about what it is that sparks their interest, or just try different things. Not quit their job per se, but just like not right away, but just just try different things and see what sparks your interest, and then give more of yourself, and you never know what that might open, right?
Yeah.
Avenues and everything else. It really is a mindset thing. Like what?
Yeah, and you got to think about it, right? Like, because it's a bunch of little decisions. Because like let's say someone comes to you and they're like, Shahab, like I'm not really happy with my career, but I have a mortgage and 2 kids, and like I have all these things that I need to pay for, and I can't really spend 2 months figuring out what I love and what I'm passionate about. So like, then what do you do, right? Like,
right, yeah, like for them, you would have to like sit down, have a talk with them, see what else is on their mind, because they always have a lot of emotional baggage, right? So you gotta spend some time with them.
You gotta try to think about that ahead of time sometimes, right? Like before you get like 10 years into a career and it's like, oh, I don't love this, I don't even like this, like. Right.
Yeah, that's a tricky spot. That's definitely a tricky spot. But there's well, you know what? Where there's a will, there's a way, right?
What they say, yeah.
It's hard, easier said than done, but it's possible.
Of course, right? I mean, it's like there's gonna be bad things that happen. Right. No matter what, they're about to happen. Like people are gonna have like loved ones die. There's gonna be illnesses. You might get like sick, fired. Acts of God. Like all that stuff is gonna happen. Right. No matter if you go for it or not. Right. Like no matter if you enjoy life or not, like bad things are gonna happen eventually. So instead of holding yourself back and hoping that bad things don't happen, because they are. Right. Like why not like go for it, enjoy it fully, build character that you want, like love unconditionally, full out, and because like I'm 31. I think you're what? 28. Young. 28. Yeah, like it's I've been pretty lucky with like having a good life and not a lot of like death surrounding me and stuff, but like all that stuff is gonna happen no matter if no matter if I try my hardest, Right. So why not like try your hardest and try to have the best life possible and go for it, like you said, and like when that bad stuff does happen, like you'll be able to at least say like at least I lived like as much as I could. Yeah, no, for sure, man. That's awesome. All right, I think we gotta cut it there, but I think I should have had a timer, but I don't want. You don't want to get cut off, obviously. Yeah. I don't want to ask another question and then just cut off randomly. But I want to thank you, man. Thank you for your time. We'll do this another time as well, and we'll dig deeper into some other fascinating questions. Yeah, man. We can use Zoom. We can meet up in person. Whatever works for. Right. Yeah. For sure. All right. Cool. Buddy. All right. I'm gonna probably write like a blog about this and tag you in there. All right. All that stuff. Yeah. Cool. Yeah. All right, buddy. I'll talk to you later. Okay. All right. Later. All right. Good talking to you. See ya.